Hey, greetings everyone. Coach Cam here. In this video, I want to talk to you about how you can make more in the Prosperity Tax Solutions compensation plan as a mobile preparer than you did working with your old um, tax company last year. So I want to jump right into it with no delays. We have what I like to call a progressive commission structure or a tiered structure, as some people like to say. And the way it works is you get started with us as a brand new preparer. You're going to be making 50% um, of the preparation fees. So it'll be a 50-50 split on the preparation fees. Now, you don't stay there. Actually, you're going to be able to move from 50% all the way up to 90% based on your production. So, for example, on your first 10 returns, yeah, you're at 50%. But on return number 11, you're now making 60%. And from 11 to 25, you're going to be at a 60-40 commission split with you getting the 6%, 60%. And then once you reach 26 returns, from 26 to 50, now you're at a 70-30 with you getting a 70. From 51 to 100, you're at an 80%. And from 101 to 200, you're at 85%. And 201 and beyond, you're at a 90-10 commission split with you getting 90%. Now, in a lot of cases, when you're working for someone as a preparer, you never get the opportunity to get a 90% commission split. But with us at Prosperity Tax Solutions, you do. So let's take a little quick scenario and explain why you're gonna make so much more compensation with this plan versus just a flat fee plan. So as you can see, I did a scenario here of someone, a preparer working for a tax firm at a 70-30 commission split, with them getting 70%. And in this scenario, we're going to assume that that person did 150 returns. We're taking a $375 preparation fee. So through this whole scenario, keep that in mind. We're saying that on average, the prep fee came out to be 375. So if you was on a 70-30 split, you would make $262.50 per return. So as you can see here, 262.50, multiply that by the 150 returns. Now you're talking about $39,375 that you earned for that tax season. Now that's not bad. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good because um, where I'm from, the average person don't make doesn't make $39,000 for the entire year, and you're looking at being able to do that in a 3 to 4 month window. Now you got the rest of the year to do whatever. All right, because you got your full-time salary already earned. All right, you can go out and make more money doing other things. You can actually provide different types of tax planning and stuff like that. So it's just a phenomenal situation where you can go out and make a full-time income in 3 to 4 months, right? Now, let's look at this same person, but let's put him into the Prosperity Tax Solutions compensation plan and see how that works out. So we're going to start you off at 50%, right? On your first 10 returns, you're earning 50%. 50% of the 375, now you're looking at $187.50 per return. That's a total of $1,875. All right. Then you're going to be bumped up to the 60% commission rate, and you're going to earn another $225 per return for 15 returns. That's going to give you 33.75. Then you're going to be bumped up again to the 70% commission rate. Now on the next 25 returns, you're earning 262.50 for a total of 6,562. Then you're going to get another bump, right? Now you're earning $300 per return, total of 15,000 on those 50 returns. And then finally, for that last 50 returns, you're going to be at 85%, earning $318.75. total 15,937.50 for that final 50 returns. That's a total of 150 returns, just like in the first scenario, like you made last year. But instead of 39,375, you just made $42,750 doing the exact same work, but we put you in this tiered compensation plan, which is a win-win. Not only for It's not just great for prosperity tax, but it's great for you because you end up making more money. And then from our standpoint, in the beginning, we got to do a lot more hand holding, support, and helping. So you're making a lower compensation, and we don't mind doing the hand holding and support, but we don't want to give you 70% when you just getting started, and we know it's going to take a whole lot more time to help teach, train, and nurture you to get you to the point where you can go out and do your thing by yourself. So we got the um, compensation plan structured with that in mind, right? But as you can see here, even a person that was making 70% started off at 70, you started off at 50, and you still ended up making more money than they did with the same amount of work. We're talking about $42,750. We're talking about a little over 3 grand increase in your compensation. And it actually going to be more than that because there's a bonus that's going to be tied into this. You're actually going to be making another $1,500. We're going to talk about that later. So that's actually going to go up to, instead of 42, you're probably looking at about 44,000, right? When you add that bonus, a little over 44,000 when you add that. So let's move on to the next scenario. In this next scenario, I want to show you um, what you would actually make, because guess what? If you came to us and you did 150 returns last year and you had that experience under your belt, we know we don't have to do all the as much support and hand holding and guidance as we would with a brand new preparer. If you came to us, we would probably start you in our compensation plan, but at a 70% rate, just like you had last year, but you still get the opportunity to progress through the compensation plan. So let's take a look at what that will be like. So let's say, because of your experience and the customer base that you're bringing with you, we go ahead and start you off at 70%, right? Now, for the first 50 returns, you're going to be making $262.50 for a total of $13,125. But here's the best part. You get to get that bump up after you pass 50. So from 51 to 100, you're at 80%. $300 per return, $15,000, right? Then you're going to get that next bump to 85%. $318.75 per return. You're talking about $15,937.50. We're talking about making you an extra $1,500 in bonuses as well. And here's how the bonuses work. Anytime a preparer hit a minimum of 50 returns, we're going to activate the bonus. Now you're going to get $10 for every funded return. It's going to go back retro from 1, right? Once you hit 50 funded returns, now you're gonna get $10 for every one of those returns. 150 times 10 is an extra $1,500, right? So that's how that bonus works. We're talking about $45,562.50, whereas last year you made $39,375. A big difference. We're talking about a little over $6,000. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I heard that there was a cost to get involved with Prosperity Tax Solution. There is a cost. $199.97. It's a small cost. And guess what? You only have to pay $50 of that upfront out of pocket. So one-time $50 out of pocket. The other $149.97, will come out of future commissions, so you don't even have to pay that out of pocket. Now, if you're in a position to go ahead and take care of your whole 199.97, by all means do so. But if you need that deferment, we have that there. The minimum you have to pay out of pocket is the $50. Now, somebody's thinking, well, I didn't have to pay anything. My program last year was completely free. No, it was not. Okay, because you left $6,000 on the table. So, was it really free? Because if you miss the opportunity to earn this extra $6,187, then your program wasn't free. See, in this industry, nothing is free. It's just all about how they package and structure it. But you best believe you pay for everything. Nothing is free. All right. So don't trip over dollars to pick up dimes. Don't say, well, I got this $50 setup fee that I'm paying out of pocket. And with this other program, I don't. They're paying me a 70% commission. So I'm going to go with them and leave the $6,000 on the table. You're tripping over dollars to pick up dimes. Okay. So if you're ready to get started with us, you're ready to take a deep dive and look at everything we have to offer, down to the tiered compensation plan, to the trainings, to the marketing strategies, to everything we have, go into the description, click the link, and let's go. Okay, let's make this money. Now, one last thing I want to talk about is for our existing preparers, right? This is a brand new compensation plan. We had something different last year. We're rolling this out this year. So for the existing preparers, the depending on how many returns you did last year will determine on where you will fall on the compensation plan. So if you did, let's say you did 26, you had 26 funded returns last year. Well, you're going to start off at the 70% compensation level. All right. So you're going to start off where you're going to pick up where you left off as far as production last year. Right. So now, let's say, for example, you were on a 70% contract last year, all right, and for whatever reason, you only did 5 returns last year. Life was lifing. For some reason, you got sidetracked. You didn't make what you wanted to make. You wasn't able to get going. In some cases, we had people who came to us and said, I got experience, so please start me off on a 70% contract. But for whatever reason, they just didn't get going. They did a few returns, but didn't hit the numbers they wanted to hit. Well, guess what? You only did 5 returns. We're not going to start you at the 50%, which that's what you would be entitled to. But because you are prior year, everybody is going to start off, if you were with us last year, at a minimum of 60. All right, you're going to start there, and then as you hit the numbers, you will progress through the compensation plan like everyone else. But if you were at 70% and you didn't produce at least 26 funded returns, you're not going to be starting at 70% again. We're going to have to fall back um, uh, to where you actually should have been. All right, getting started with us. So, which is cool. Just like I showed you in the beginning, you're going to progress through the compensation plan. You're still going to end up making more money anyway. In addition to that, you have the ability to make overrides, right? You can recruit other preparers and make overrides. I'm not going to get into all that on this video, but I just wanted to show you how this progressive tiered compensation structure is better than that flat rate compensation structure where you never get the opportunity to make any more than 60, 70%. With us, you have the opportunity to go all the way up to 90%. And based on experience, we can even start you at higher rates sometimes. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Go in the description. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's rock and roll. And I'm excited to work with you all this upcoming tax season. I know it's the middle of the year, but the middle of the year is when you should be building to be in position for the next tax season. If you wait till later in the year, you're going to be behind the 8 ball. I'm telling you, you're going to get off to a bad start. Let's go now. Let's put in the work to start building. So when we get to tax season, we're going to have a phenomenal tax season. You're going to make a full-time income in 2 to 3 months. Everybody's going to be excited. And I'll see you all at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. Coach Cam out. Peace.